After my older sister Cecilia and I came of age, our parents dropped a bombshell. One of us had to run the family empire. The other had to marry into the Spencer dynasty in Norwich City. Cecilia, drunk on greed, called dibs on the company without a second thought. Problem was, she was all mouth. Spent her days jet-setting and partying while the business bled out. Within 12 months, she'd torched it to the ground. Me? I snagged the Spencer name and popped out 2 sons, locking in my throne as the trophy wife. Cecilia couldn't stomach it. Jealousy curdled into madness. She cornered me at a family gathering and drove a knife into my chest. Next thing I knew, I was back on the day we had to choose. Cecilia didn't even flinch. I'll marry into the Spencer family. The business can go to Demi. I bit down a laugh. My poor, oblivious sister. She had zero clue she was marching straight into a slaughterhouse. Chapter 1. I fell for Mike Spencer the second I saw him. I want to be with him. Demi's way smarter. She'll totally crush it running the company. Our parents looked ready to ship me off to the Spencers, but Cecilia lost it. Her face flushed crimson, like she was about to combust on the spot. The girl was clawing to lock down Mike and cement her place as some rich heir's arm candy. The irony? Barely days ago, she was out here bragging about being a boss. Now she'd flipped the script entirely. Mom and dad stood frozen, shell-shocked by how fast she pivoted. Me? I stayed sunk into the couch, flipping through the company's financials with a faint smirk. Even handed a second shot at life, Cecilia couldn't resist cannonballing into the same disaster. Mom kept her lips sealed, but dad had plenty to say, as always. Cecilia, it's better to count on yourself. Sure, he might like you now, but people change. I've heard things about Mike, not exactly glowing. Just think about it. I don't want you getting hurt. He wasn't wrong. Banking your entire future on some guy? The dumbest gamble alive. Dad had watched it unfold too many times. Men discarding their day one wives the second fortunes landed. The women who stayed got swept into the gutter. No shock he didn't want that fate for us. But Cecilia wasn't hearing any of it. Maybe her brain replayed how golden my last life looked from the outside. Chauffeured in luxury sedans, bank account overflowing, 2 picture-perfect sons everyone envied. She clung to the fantasy that marrying Mike would beat running a company and watching it implode. Dad's warning sailed in one ear and out the other. She even poked at her ear, irritated. Oh, Dad, that's just because those women were useless. I'm gorgeous and charming. He'd be lucky to have me. Why would he leave? You've met him. He's a total gentleman. Those rumors are trash. She posed like the trophy was already in her grip, eyes blazing with pure delusion. To her, this was a fairy tale shortcut. Why grind through soul-sucking meetings and endless travel when you could swirl wine and drift through parties as a pampered princess? I dropped my head, stifling a snort. Mike might play the polished prince in public, but behind closed doors, full-blown monster. He clawed up the ranks as the Spencer family's illegitimate son, and trust me, whatever darkness he waded through to get there wasn't pretty. He paraded me around to schmooze nonstop, forced drinks down my throat till I vomited blood and never batted an eye. Something didn't tilt his way, he'd swing. I rocked long sleeves in the dead of July just to mask the bruises. And the Spencers? A nest of vipers. Power plays, razor smiles, round-the-clock backstabbing. That house didn't just break you, it dissolved you. How could any of that compare to peacefully steering the family business? But she'd made her bed. Our parents just sighed and retreated to their room, too drained to argue anymore. On her way out, Cecilia tossed me a smug, dagger-sharp smirk. Demi, when the company tanks and you're broke, hit me up. Maybe I'll let you carry my purse. I grinned slow. We'll see who ends up begging. Poor thing. So blessed she gets to be roughed up by her adoring husband and shredded by her lovely in-laws. Meanwhile, I'm stuck sobbing in my billion-dollar corner office. Oh, and occasionally hiring a few sculpted eye candy assistants for entertainment. Chapter 2. Cecilia and Mike's wedding was ripped from a magazine spread, staged at the iconic Centennial Hotel, crawling with industry royalty, swathed in a custom couture gown.